Good morning. Global tensions have just reached a new level. Iran has launched hundreds of missiles at Israel in a dramatic escalation that could reshape the Middle East and impact us all. What triggered this unprecedented attack, and what happens next? Stay with me to understand the story behind today's most important headline.
People were
Let's
the
turn now
victims
to the
of
latest
a
developments in
Holocaust
the escalating
perpetrated
conflict
by the
between
Nazi
Iran
regime.
and Israel.
Today,
Iran has
the
launched
Jewish
hundreds
state
of ballistic
refuses
missiles
to
at
be a
Israel,
victim of a
marking a
nuclear
dramatic
Holocaust
escalation following a
perpetrated
direct
by the
attack
Iranian
on
regime.
Iranian nuclear
Now, as
facilities.
Prime Minister,
This new
I've
wave of
made it
violence
clear
between
time and
long-standing
again,
adversaries
Israel will
threatens to
never
draw the
allow
wider Middle East into
those who call
conflict
for our
and disrupt
annihilation
global oil
to
supplies.
develop the means to
The missile
achieve that goal.
barrages targeted
Tonight,
multiple Israeli
Israel
cities
backs those
and
words
represent
with
Tehran's
action.
most forceful response
We
yet.
struck at the heart of Iran's
Coming after
nuclear
Israeli
enrichment
overnight
program.
raids killed top
We struck at
Iranian
the heart of
generals
Iran's
and
nuclear
inflicted heavy damage on
weaponization
key
program.
military infrastructure.
We targeted Iran's
Explosions were
main
reported over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, with Israeli air defenses, supported by U.S. forces, intercepting many of the incoming projectiles. However, the full extent of any breaches remains unclear. Global markets reacted sharply to the surge in tensions. The S&P 500 dropped more than 1%, erasing gains from earlier in the week, while West Texas Intermediate crude futures jumped over 7%, the largest single-day increase since March 2022. Gold and the U.S. dollar also rose as investors sought safe havens. Inside Iran, state media reported that air defenses were reactivated in anticipation of further attacks. The intense exchanges signal a turning point for both nations, testing the limits of their aggression and willingness to escalate. Unlike previous confrontations, where there was often a pause after initial strikes, Israel has indicated this could become a prolonged operation lasting weeks. This situation presents a critical challenge for Iran, which must decide how to respond to Israel's actions. Recent Israeli operations have exposed vulnerabilities, decimated Iranian proxies, and eliminated key leaders. Among those killed in Israeli strikes were Hossein Salami, Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Barn, IRGC, and Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of Iran's armed forces. At least 2 other senior IRGC members died, and several nuclear facilities were targeted. Iranian state TV also reported the death of Amir Ali Hajizadeh, head of the IRGC's aerospace division. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, vowed to act forcefully in a pre-recorded statement broadcast after Iran began its retaliation. He warned Israel not to expect impunity, declaring, "We won't allow them to escape unscathed from this great crime they have committed." Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the attacks had derailed ongoing diplomatic efforts. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed that Iran had informed them of Israeli strikes on nuclear sites at Fordo and Isfahan. While the IAEA could not independently verify the extent of the damage, disabling the Isfahan facility would significantly impact Iran's uranium enrichment capabilities. So far, Iran has avoided directly involving the United States in the conflict. Analysts suggest this is a deliberate move, as Tehran cannot afford open war with the world's largest economy and most powerful military. Indirect nuclear talks between Iran and the U.S. are scheduled to continue, though Friday's events have cast uncertainty over future negotiations. Meanwhile, world leaders are closely monitoring the situation. With the Group of 7 summit underway in Canada, attention is focused on how U.S. President Donald Trump will respond to the crisis. Trump issued a warning to Iran via social media, urging them to make a deal before it is too late, but otherwise refrain from public remarks. According to Iranian officials, Israeli strikes targeted around 100 locations across Iran, involving more than 200 aircraft. Iranian media report at least 95 people wounded and several residential buildings hit near Tehran. Iran's ambassador to the United Nations stated that 78 people were killed in the attacks. In Israel, 1 woman was killed in the Tel Aviv area. The United States maintains that it did not participate in Israel's initial offensive, but has assisted in Israel's aerial defense. Washington has also warned against targeting American personnel or facilities in the region. Any further escalation, especially attacks on U.S. interests, could dramatically intensify the conflict and have far-reaching consequences for regional stability and global trade. As the situation continues to unfold, the world watches closely, bracing for potential new developments in this rapidly evolving crisis. Before you go, tell us, what's your take on today's news? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful. You're watching Finance Daily Reports, your source for global finance and politics. See you soon and have a nice day.